What is up guys, it's Cal, and the release date for patch 7.3 has been officially announced by Blizzard to be released on August 29th. And the reason I use that very particular wording is because a lot of people already knew about this. They already knew what the release date was going to be. And that's because there's been a pattern for every patch so far, and that's that they have been released 77 days apart from each other, or 11 weeks. It's been the same in 7.1 to 7.1.5 to 7.2 to 7.2.5 and so on. Now with the release of 7.3 comes the new world of Argus. Now I've posted a few videos of that before, so make sure you check those out if you want to see at least some of the planet, or you can look at the screen now, and you can also watch those videos to see some of the quests that it has to offer. Now for those who are unaware of what Argus actually is, well, it was the original planet that homed the Eridar, which the Eridar are comprised of the Draenei, which I'm sure we all know of, and the Man'ari. Now the Man'ari are Draenei looking dudes that lead the Burning Legion. Like for example, Socrathar, who we fought in Hellfire Citadel, and also Archimonde, he's a Man'ari. But now that that's out of the way, what are we going to find on this new planet? And, well, 7.3 in general. First off, Argus is comprised of 3 zones, and scattered around these zones are invasion points. Now invasion points are pretty similar to rifts in Diablo if you ever played that. You go in, you kill some things, it gets harder, you get some nice rewards. And then there's also the new dungeon, Seat of the Triumvirate. If you want to see that dungeon, you can click on the end slate video at the end of the video. I made a video going through that place. But it is comprised of 4 bosses, so that is something to look forward to. Now Argus has its own set of world quests, so if you didn't think there were already enough world quests, well, there's going to be a ton more. But hey, that's good. I mean, that means that there's more artifact power, and there will even be new emissaries. Now this next thing, I did make a video on, and that's the Netherlight Crucible. Now this crucible will essentially allow you to augment artifact relics. You can strengthen and customize relics, which increase their power. This means that artifacts can have 2 traits that they improve, instead of just 1. And you do this by putting relics that you have in your inventory wherever into the crucible to, I guess, try and combine them or something. So what I've actually been doing is keeping some high level relics that have the best trait increasers for me, just so I can try and do something with those with the Netherlight Crucible. There's also going to be new combat animations as well for the mages and priests, all of their specs. Also the elemental and resto shamans, and even resto druids. There will also be more champion missions as well, with new troop types that you can get from Argus, and your champions can go up to item level 950. Now don't go hoarding like already existing items that increase their item level, because what they did before when they increased it to 900 is those all became obsolete and they introduced new ones. So there will be new ones that are introduced. Now loot drop from dungeons is also getting increased by 20 levels. So it'll be easier to gear your alts, like normal which will have 845 gear, heroic 865, and mythic 885. Now for mythic pluses, the final chest from the dungeon can give up to an item level of 915, and your weekly cash will give 935. Now both of those will cap at mythic keystone 10, which will increase to 15 at some future point. As far as pet battles are concerned, there's a new Raiding with Leeches achievement called Raiding with Leeches 5 Cuticalism. So, as you probably guessed, it's getting pets from the Kata raids. And there will also be 18 new legendary boss pets across Argus to fight, which apparently have special abilities that the ones in Azeroth didn't, whatever that means. Now this next one is pretty interesting, and that's profession development across Argus. There will be new gathering nodes for herbalists and miners, and also new materials for skinners and tailors. There will also be new soulbound regions called Primal Sargerite. I believe that's like the new Bloods of Sargeras or something. And then there's also new fishing reputations. There will be 6 NPCs across Argus that you can fish for and complete daily quests for. And this will award you with reputation with all of them, which leads to a new appearance for your legendary fishing pole. Now artifact knowledge is changing slightly. You'll no longer go to an NPC in your order hall and spend 500 resources to learn a new knowledge every 5 days. Your knowledge will now increase every week. No work orders need to be submitted, it just does it automatically. And there's also a whole bunch of class changes. The link to see all those will be in the description. I'm not going to go through all these because I want this video to be under 30 minutes long. The most notable one that I found is that the porcupine pet family for hunters is being renamed to rodent. So there's that. That's also the only hunter change. Now for class hall researches, the amount of resources needed to research them are being reduced. So tier 3 will take 1,000 resources instead of 2,000. Tier 4 will take 2,500 instead of 4k. Tier 5 will take 5k instead of 8k. And if you want to change a research bonus, it used to take 3 days. It's now going to take 1. Oh, and the cost to change the tier 7 bonus is being increased from 2k to 5k. So there's that. And I mean, that's pretty much everything. The only other thing is that all the gear that has attack power on it is having its attack power changed to agility or strength. And you might be thinking, like, what's attack power? Wasn't that removed like a while back? I mean, it was, sort of. but some old school gear still had attack power on it, so that's just being changed. Also, if you still decide to do Broken Shores world quests in patch 7.3, even though you have an entire world to explore that has tons of world quests on it, you might not care to do them anymore, because contributing to a building on the Broken Shores with those resources will no longer give you a Legion Fall item, and the AP that they award is being reduced. And the one last thing I noticed is that with your hidden artifact appearance and the challenge appearances, you no longer have to be using that specific appearance to unlock its different color variants. You can now unlock those color variants if you're using any artifact appearance. You just have to make sure you have the base appearance unlocked already. And I mean, that's everything. There's no raid in 7.3. They don't release that like what the main patch is. That'll be in 7.3.5. But yeah, that's everything that's coming in 7.3, August 29th. If you liked the video, you can leave a like on it. Also, if it was helpful, you can also leave a like on it. You can sub to the channel for more videos like this, and I'll see you guys in the next video.